It's Pro Wrestling Summit, motherfucker. You already know what it is. Man, it has been another fucking crazy week in wrestling, and we got another fucking action-packed, hour-filled fucking episode for you. God damn it. We got Knowledge in the building. Knowledge?
What's going on, good villains?
And we have the newest member of the special guest, the motherfucking guy. He's the guy. We just call him the guy. No, I'm just kidding. He actually has a fucking name, and it's Buck from the Nuck. The Buck from the Nuck is in the building. Welcome to the fucking Pro Wrestling Summit, you son of a bitch. How you doing, man?
What up, what up?
The Buck from the Nuck is in the building. We are Pro Wrestling Summit. We are here live and in full effect. We are ready to go. But man, what a fucking week in pro wrestling. We all thought that WWE was sold to the Saudis. Everybody thinks the fucking craziest shit. Nobody knows anything. Nobody has any fucking idea what's going on.
We never get a break anymore.
There's no break.
There's no break in wrestling anymore.
A lot of misinformation out there, unfortunately.
Ton of misinformation, and unfortunately, it is driving us wrestling fans mad.
Well, it's the happiest misinformation I've ever heard. Thank God they didn't sell to the Saudis.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that would be the greatest business decision for the WWE, but that's just me. I mean, you're definitely going to lose Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens right immediately.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
think you're going to lose some viewers right off the top.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I mean, you know, we were talking about it, like, there goes the women's division. Like, that would be done and over with. So,
Right.
like, women's wrestling, what would it be? Like, it wouldn't exist in WWE. Every woman would go to Impact and AEW and NWA wrestling.
Yeah.
The outfits would definitely change for sure.
They would definitely change. That's for fucking sure.
They'll be wearing sweatpants and sweatshirts out there.
They'll have to wear the Gold Dust getup.
Yeah.
With the face paint.
If I have to watch women's wrestling like that, then I won't watch.
I'll tell you what, though, we were talking about it last week, and women's wrestling has come such a fucking long way from the, from the days of Wendy Richter and, Fabulous Moolah and, them just...
Peggy Lee.
Yeah, Peggy Lee. Holy shit. What a fucking reference.
And we need to mention her because she passed away this week, Mae Young.
Oh, yeah, Mae Young.
Damn.
Wow, Jesus. She was like 186 years old in 2000.
Yeah, a lot of people said, oh, it's really sad that, she passed. Is it? I mean, once you reach, 80,
she was taking bumps for the fucking 3 count, though, at fucking 80-something years old.
Good on her, man.
Taking crazy bumps for Umaga.
Getting powerbombed by Bubba off the stage through a table.
Oh, my God, that was crazy, dude. That's when Bubba was a maniac.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good stuff. But she was never the same after she gave birth to that hand, though. I don't know.
Oh, my God, the Mark Henry angle.
I hear that changes a woman.
Exactly. That screwed her all up.
I don't know, dude. Just thinking about Mark Henry laying on top of her kind of just makes me totally fucking sick to my stomach as far as I'm concerned. It's fucking disgusting.
He's a whole lot of man, for sure.
Yeah. It's time for a main event. I love that, dude. I do. I love it. I love the internet-only shows, dude. It fucking makes me so happy hearing Paul White and Mark Henry doing commentary and, cracking jokes and shit. It's hysterical. It's the best part of AEW programming. I swear to God. The commentary is the best part of their programming.
He's a good dude, Mark Henry. I always liked him. He's a real nice guy, real humble, down to earth dude. Sexual chocolate, can't go wrong.
You have to be humble to agree to do a gimmick like that.
I mean, what a gimmick, though. Sexual chocolate. I mean, it's almost as bad as the Big Vis gimmick.
Yeah.
The fucking...
Big Daddy V.
Yeah, Big Daddy V. Oh, my God. Fucking terrible.
That's what the women are going to be wearing, the outfit, just like him.
Oh, my God, dude. It's fucking crazy.
It's like a big trash bag.
That's perfect. Well, that's what the Saudis think of women anyway, so it's perfectly fucking fine.
Hey, they gave women the right to drive in 2012. It's,
yeah, that's fucking hella nice of them. Fucking.
They'll all be wearing masks as well.
Oh my God.
There's a whole new definition to under the hood.
Exactly.
No, if they put Scarlett under a hood, man, I'm gonna be really upset. Like, that's gonna fucking really make me mad.
The good thing is they didn't sell to the Saudis yet. So.
No. And now the rumor is fucking Shad Khan's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is really happening? Shad Khan? What?
I don't think Shad Khan is going to pony up that type of money for the WWE. I really don't.
I mean, for his kid running a pipe dream that he can't run properly now?
Well,
Like,
it's what made me, the only thing that made me feel comfortable with this whole thing is Triple H's comments on well, he did like an all staff meeting or all hands meeting before Raw, and he said that Vince was back to how do you put it? It was like he was back to either approve or to not
facilitate
approve.
the sale of
right,
the company.
facilitate the sale or lack thereof of the company.
Right.
And so that makes me think that they're not actually going to sell. They may be, looking at it, but it's not a sure thing yet. I mean, I would prefer if they just didn't sell.
Well, he just reached an agreement today, apparently, with the woman that he allegedly raped.
oh,
Well,
what the fuck?
As,
The Rita Charlton?
Chatterton, yeah.
Yeah, Chatterton, yep. Oh,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
apparently he reached a multi-million-dollar deal to pay her off.
Well, I mean, that's probably the best fucking thing that could happen. But that's just more money that he's like spending to
well, he better not be getting it out of the
company fund.
Is that why he came back?
Oh
Get some-
my
get his
god,
hands
that
on
would
some
be
company
fucking
funds.
awesome. That would be what a story that would be.
I think he had to pony up out of his own pocket for this one.
Oh fuck, man, that's gonna be an expensive dime.
I'm seeing it 19.6 million.
19.6 million. I mean, that's like a drop in the hat.
Yeah.
I think that's what she was looking for. I guess I'm not sure they disclosed the actual amount, but they said it was definitely in the millions.
Oof. I mean, even settling out of court, you got to think she's probably looking at a cool $10 million.
Oh, that's how much he used to pay the NDAs. 19.6 million. That's what that was.
19.6 million to pay all the NDAs.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. Yeah,
It's not something an innocent man readily agrees to. I don't think.
I mean, not really. I mean,
The second that you need a non-disclosure agreement to say, hey, you can't talk about any of our interactions the entire time you've been here. There's a problem there.
I mean, the thing is, like, is anybody who has been watching wrestling for any amount of time surprised at any of this stuff? Like,
Shouldn't be.
Oh, Vince slept with
I don't
this
think he can be,
woman,
no.
or fucking Vince like did this while somebody was working for him. I'm like, I'm not surprised by any of this.
He paid Trish Stratus money to make out with him in front of his comatose wife. I mean,
That's fucking crazy shit,
I
dude.
mean, I think it's part of the reason that's Stephanie left. I think it has to be. I think that definitely had to play into it.
well, what a slap in the face to her. You're the CEO, the co-CEO for 8 months, and your dad's going to come back to sell the company.
And she's always talking about women power and all that other stuff,
Yeah.
and then you got her father doing this kind of shit. It's crazy.
Well, especially since, the lawsuits like going on, you put her as the face of the company again. You have a woman in charge of the company after your dad makes all these mistakes. And then, all right, hey, I'm settling this. I'm going to come back now and sell the company. Like, yeah, that's a huge slap in the face to her.
Yeah, I think she just had enough.
Yeah. And good on her for stepping aside.
rightfully so. I mean, fucking A. Like, and then everyone's like, "Oh my God, she's in the hospital." I'm like, she got ankle surgery. Chill the fuck out, people.
Yeah.
Like,
Is that what it was? I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah, she's not. It's not like she's in the hospital. Like she had like a heart thing, like Triple H or nothing. They're like breaking news: Steph McMahon in the hospital. I'm like, what the fuck is going on now?
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, she had a broken ankle. Oh, is that it? Like, what the fuck, dude? Like. Fucking scaring the shit out of people. But that's the wrestling media today, man. And then
speaking of breaking news, man, horrible news. Obviously, yesterday coming down with Jay Briscoe.
oh my God, what a fucking tragic thing! And Warner Media not allowing AEW to do a tribute show for Jay Briscoe is really a fucking tragedy. I understand that they're a publicly traded company and they have people to answer to, but the wrestling business is a little bit different. And even though people's past transgressions may not lend credence to the career that they had in the ring.
Can I just say that it's probably gonna get some heat on me. Can I just say I was pretty happy when I heard it was a car accident, and not like
An OD
or like some sort of concussion related thing or something like that, like
some type of Benoit incident or something.
Yeah, like finally, like there's a legitimate, like, hey, this is a typical thing that happens, not like some crazy wrestling and related thing.
Yeah, and according to CNN, the other driver who also is deceased, died in the accident. It was her fault. Apparently, she ran over the lines into his lane and hit him head on.
No.
He was in a truck, but he did not have a seatbelt on. And then he also had his 2 girls with him in the truck or in the hospital now.
Yeah, they're in critical condition.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible situation, and they just won the tag belts and everything. Like they're looking at making revival of their ROH career here, and something like that happens. It's just terrible.
Yeah, real tragedy for sure.
Terrible.
I just wanted to mention that because obviously they were one of the best tag teams going in the last 20 years for sure. So
and nobody has a bad thing to say about them in the wrestling industry. Nobody has a bad. It's everybody outside of the wrestling industry that don't like people saying what they want to say.
Some of the comments he made about well, we know what he was talking about, but
right.
Well, the whole thing is that people take those comments to heart, and they have to understand that this is professional wrestling. The same rules do not apply. And clearly he was, he's a character. He is. I mean, one of the best promos that I've ever heard is Terry Funk ain't wearing no mouthpiece. Like, that fucking promo rings in my head every time that I think of the Briscoes.
And the Briscoes were always old school guys, so they live their character. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the reasons I liked them so much. I mean, they were like a throwback tag team.
And they're brutal. They were brutal.
And they say some bad shit, but that's also part of their character, is to say that shit.
Yeah, but if we go back in the annals of wrestling...
Oh, yeah, no, I mean...
And we go back even 10 years ago, do you think that we could do... Could there be another Zach Gowen incident with Brock Lesnar right now? Where he fucking F5s his a one-legged man into the fucking thing and destroys him with a chair shot to the skull? Like, no, we can never do that.
An entire stadium laughs.
Yeah, huge
so much of the stuff that went on, like just like you said not too long ago, you would never fly today, unfortunately. But because some of that stuff was great,
Well, I mean, I gotta say, man, like Zach Gowen is incredible. I don't know what other people thought about that and thought it was funny, but that guy can fucking wrestle. He is insanely talented. He can do things with one leg that a normal person can't do, who's super athletic with both legs.
Absolutely. And he took an incredible beating as well.
Yeah.
Oh, well, and he didn't mind taking the beating. He understood that he needs to take the ass whooping, and
that was his spot for sure.
And he made the most of it, man. And Brock was like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna make this look real good. I'm gonna make this look real good.
People are gonna believe."
Yeah. Well, I mean, I flash back instantly when I say that about Brock Lesnar. I flash back to Brock Lesnar's first appearance when he grabbed Spike Dudley and powerbombed him, and I was like, "Oh no! Please, you're gonna hurt that man."
Looked like he shattered his spine.
Oh man! But I'll tell you though, when I really knew Brock was different was the Matt and Jeff Hardy chair shots to him, where he stood there and ate both of those chair shots, and those chair shots were vicious.
Yeah, they were stiff as hell.
I mean, not the worst chair shot I've ever seen. I mean, probably the Rock Ken Shamrock was probably the most like egregious shot that I've ever seen with a chair. The baseball bat swing to the face, like that is on some different type of shit.
He asked for it. Shamrock asked for it.
He did ask for it. I love that. I love that fucking interview that he did where he was like, yeah, I told him to hit me. He's gonna hit me. I'm like, yeah, you're fucking crazy.
He's like, I looked up at him. I said, you better hit me. And The Rock said, oh, I will.
Yeah, he never had any problems laying in a good stiff chair shot, that's for sure. Just as Foley.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that handcuff spot, man. It's still hard to watch. Still hard to watch. And I mean, you know, I've seen Foley take some ungodly chair shots from Terry Funk, from, you know, the ECW chair shots that he took.
The Japan stuff that he
Well,
took
yeah,
in
that
death
stuff
matches.
with Terry Funk, dude, was just like out of control. I mean, he's a...
Vicious.
They're just mental. The both of them they're both nuts. It's
Yeah.
a different type of thing. You know? But you gotta love them. That's why I love those guys, because they're just a different breed.
Yeah.
You know, same
Now,
reason.
what do you think? What do you think Brock's status is coming back for the Rumble? You think he's going to be in the Rumble match itself, or just be there to create some havoc, or what do you think?
I think he wrestles. Gunther.
Oh, that would be something. I mean,
Well,
I'd really like to see him set that up for WrestleMania for sure.
Well, they already did Braun, and Braun lost clean. So that's it. Braun's out. So I thought that it was going to go the opposite direction. I thought that Braun was going to beat Gunther for the belt, and I was going to fucking lose my mind, because that don't make no fucking sense. Braun doesn't draw. That's
No, that was great to see Gunther give him the slam off the ropes there and pin him 1, 2, 3. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was great. And you know what? You got to give it up to Braun, because he went in there and he fucking worked a really, really good match against a really, really good wrestler. You know? And it showed that he can actually work when he wants to. And he's not just the fucking, I'm going to do the Strowman Express and fucking run around the ring like a half a Momo.
He's the monster of all monsters and all that, you know.
The monster of all monsters, dude, almost made you look like a toddler.
Yeah.
He just size-wise made you look like a toddler, and almost doesn't have a fucking an athletic bone in his body. Yeah. That guy is a sack of shit.
But I don't think
he's terrible.
I don't think that Brock would be wrestling Gunther, though. I think that he's one that they're going to look for a pop now, especially since you know, they basically revealed that Cody's coming back for the Rumble.
Well, yeah, he's on the poster. He said he's coming back for the Rumble. Right. So, but he'll be on this week's Raw. But I mean, it's Raw 30.
I'm just saying that won't be a pop that they can look forward to. I mean, there'll still be a pop there, but not like the surprise pop that they always look for in the Rumble.
Yeah, I'm interested to see who's going to come back.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, Brock would be an easy contender to be like, all right, his music hits, people are going to go nuts. You know, that's simple.
I just don't want to see him win it.
No,
that's the only thing I don't
want
to see it.
I think that could set up something for WrestleMania where Gunther is in the ring and Brock comes out, and you know.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They have a face-to-face type showdown.
Oh, that would be spicy.
Yeah,
that propels them out to WrestleMania. Those two guys. That would be nice, I think.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see what they do with that match. Does Lesnar do the job?
I think you have to. Gunther's way too hot right now.
I mean, that's a fucking big stepping stone for Gunther. If Brock's gonna do the job for him.
Well, they're also trying to solidify
absolutely.
that. They're also trying to solidify that Intercontinental Championship as like a main title. You know.
Well, and they should, because honestly, like back in the day, it was a legit title. Like, I mean, you go all the way back to Pedro Morales and fucking, you know, Pat Patterson, fucking guys like that, man. Oh, he won the title in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, in a tournament. What?
No.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No one has done more to bring prestige back to that title than Gunther has. So.
Yeah, agreed.
Now, what do you guys?
Hoping for some other surprises as well. You know, maybe some debuts. I think Dragon Lee, a good spot for him to debut. I mean, seeing that it's down in San Antonio, I think that might be a good spot for him to debut in WWE, come into the Rumble match. You know,
I totally forgot that he signed with WWE.
Yeah.
That would be a good spot to bring him in.
It's a great spot. It's a great spot. They were saying that he was going to start in NXT, but I don't think that he's going to start in NXT. I mean, there's no purpose to that. I mean, he clearly knows how to wrestle. I mean, what the fuck?
I think it would make sense for him to start in NXT, but definitely have him introduced in the Rumble.
I'd like to see him introduced in the Rumble. I think he'd get a good pop down in San Antonio. I mean, those fans down there are definitely familiar with him. So,
but now if the stories are true and Andrade is actually released, like does he come back? I mean, at the
Charlotte
Rumble
just came back, so
I mean, he could come back with Dragon Lee, and they could be a tag team instantly.
Yeah.
I mean, they're family, legitimate family. I mean,
I'm pretty sure he'd get a decent pop at the Rumble too.
Oh my God, people would go crazy. I love Andrade. I mean, I would love to see him with Charlotte because Charlotte could talk for him.
Let me tell you though, if he comes back to the WWE.
Come with Rick!
But if he comes back to the WWE and nothing happens with him, at some point you got to blame Andrade because, you can't just keep saying these people aren't using him properly.
But let me ask you a question, okay? And this is a God's honest question for the both of you. Name me a wrestler who couldn't really speak English that got over.
Not many, but
Nakamura.
Is he really over?
Well, got over. I'm thinking,
in NXT he got over.
All right, in NXT, which is more of an indie promotion.
It's an indie crowd who knows his work.
I mean, he did win the Rumble one year.
Yeah, should have won the title.
Yeah, I mean, Umaga is like the only guy that I can think of that didn't really like speak.
Yep.
Who had like a giant push, and it's not that he couldn't speak; he could. It's just. There's no reason for a savage to speak.
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
And honestly,
he had a good mouthpiece with him.
Yeah.
I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but he was pretty good.
Oh, I really liked that guy too. He would come out with the big cigar, the Cuban guy.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, what was that guy's name?
I don't know.
I'm drawing a blank.
I'm still trying to think of a wrestler that couldn't really speak English that got over.
Yeah, I mean, I really can't think of one. You know?
Don't forget, Trump was a big backer of Umaga too.
Hey, he didn't get his head shaved.
That's it.
Oh, dude, Bobby Lashley, that poor fucking guy, man.
Yep.
He's that's a guy that they just don't know how to book him properly. They have him go on like a losing streak, and then all of a sudden he's a world beater again. And it's like, dude, like you gotta pick a side with this guy and just either let him do his thing and start smoking people's boots, or you gotta just let him have him job to people.
It's so confusing though, because when they do actually have him doing something good, they take it away from him. He was doing amazing things with the U.S. title, and then they took it off of him for no reason.
To give it to Theory, who doesn't need it.
Yeah, but they took it off of Lashley and put it on Rollins, who lost it immediately to Theory. Like it's
very strange some of the decisions, but it seems that Triple H has kind of righted the ship though in terms of like getting storylines on par with kind of what they should be, and like not like blowing your nut in the first fucking 3 matches and giving shit away for free on TV. Yeah. He's doing a lot more setup with matches and, longer term storylines. And I think that that's fucking hugely important to the overall grand scheme of things. I mean, look at what they've done with Bray Wyatt. The slow burn. They're not rushing anything.
and now they're pulling other things, not into Bray Wyatt, but like you start off with the background stuff. We talked about the Hurt Business last week, kind of reforming, but yet in the background, and now they're starting to come out together, and it's smart.
But almost Lashley, fucking Shelton Benjamin, and Cedric Alexander with MVP? That don't make no fucking sense.
I mean, it used to, except for the almost thing.
Dude, that guy is the shit.
Yeah,
just fire him. He is completely useless.
I think his best role would be just to be the outside guy for that tag team, of Benjamin and the other guy,
Yeah, you're the muscle. Yeah.
I don't give a lot of credence to AEW a lot of time, but they did do something right with Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal being managed by Sanjay Dutt, who's this little snivelly fucking heel, and the giant fucking Indian dude, the 1 in a billion, the 7 foot fucking something giant, who's legitimately looks like he's gonna kill people.
Yeah.
Like
he's a scary looking dude. That guy.
like, could you imagine if almost acted like that? Just walk around like that. I mean, dude,
he just looks awkward. He
looks awkward, and he doesn't fit. Like, number one, his teeth are weird. So he's got like a Snitsky teeth issue, but I don't think it's intentional. Like, I think it's just his teeth are fucked up. So like,
to me, he looks like a high school kid that like is doing a talent show, and the curtain's about to open. He's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like he just looks nervous and uncomfortable whenever he's out in the ring.
Dude, and he doesn't know how to work a match.
Yeah, but I mean, even his body motions when he's just standing around don't look natural.
He's just awkward. Everything about him is awkward. But if he just did simple things, he would look great. Yeah. Kevin Nash was a shit wrestler to begin with. They brought him to WWF as Shawn Michaels' bodyguard. He was his bodyguard for like a year, and he stood outside of the ring and learned how to work and learned how to wrestle. Listen, MVP is a decent wrestler. Not great. He's a decent wrestler. He started late in life, but Shelton Benjamin is exceptional.
Yeah.
Cedric Alexander is exceptional. Bobby Lashley is otherworldly.
Yeah.
How can that guy not learn by almost learning by osmosis?
Yeah.
Like, that should be a storyline. They should put him in Chase U in NXT, the big diesel football player in Chase U, and just have him fucking be like a jock, a stupid jock. It's a perfect role for him.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad idea.
You know, but who listens to me? I'm just a fucking stooge. You know, HBK's down there running it with fucking Sean Waltman. Sean Waltman's probably smoking weed with everybody and fucking getting people high. Bro, watch this match where I fucking blew my asshole apart. This fucking shit's crazy, brother.
Speaking
Wow.
of HBK, do you think he might consider getting in the Rumble just because it's in Antonio?
I mean, I wouldn't mind that just because of the hometown pop. You know what I mean?
I mean, he doesn't have to last long, just a couple minutes, whatever.
Dude, he could do a Luke from the Bushwhackers. Just fucking get in the ring. He poses on the rampway and then fucking just gets thrown right out of the ring. See you later.
It's just hard to wrestle with a hat on. That's the thing.
Oh man, you know it's really funny because when I play the 2K22 on PlayStation, they have him in the he's in one of the modes where you're going through like a storyline with a created wrestler. And he's in the fucking thing with he's got short ass hair in the video game, and it's like so awkward. And I'm like, oh man, I like feel bad because you got a lopso eye and you got a bald head. Like it's all fucked up, bro. Like
he probably begged them to put hair on him. You know what I mean?
please give me something, bro. Give me something. Fucking funny, man. But yeah, I mean, I expect Nick Aldis. You know, I mean, if I'm being 100% honest, I don't think he's going. Cool. I don't think he's going to AEW. The AEW is not the place for him. He knows that. Like he should be in the big leagues. He's a WWE style wrestler. Like he doesn't want to go out there and make waves. He wants to go out there and be a good dude. And honestly, I wouldn't mind, him and Bobby Roode teaming up and being a tag team. You know, they'd be a fucking killer tag team. Or him even bringing fucking Davey Boy Smith Jr. with him and them doing the fucking tag team.
Do you think they're gonna bring?
I'd be pretty psyched to see Nick Aldis in the Rumble, man. That would be cool.
Do you think they're gonna bring like some old school Texans in, like JBL, or even have Stone Cold come out just to be in the Rumble?
Oh, Stone Cold actually wouldn't be a bad call. Yeah. I don't know if he would take a bump over the top rope though.
I don't know if he can.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
like if it was a middle rope Rumble, like maybe Stone Cold might be interested, but I don't think he's taking it over the top. He's not going over the top, like unless you low bridge him.
Yeah.
Well, remember the year they brought back Dick Murdoch for the...
Dude, I love Dick Murdoch. He comes out there pasty white and fucking fat as a bejesus and starts throwing the worst elbows known to man. and lasting there for a little while.
Yeah.
He was in there slugging it out. Oh man. But I like old Dickie Murdoch, man. You know, Texas Outlaws and shit, like and fucking causing riots and fucking getting in trouble all the time. Like
absolutely. I used to love his. I think it was the North-South connection with Adrian Adonis back in the old WWE.
Oh man,
they were tag team champs. They were good.
Is that when Adrian Adonis was doing like the before the flower gimmick? He was doing like the San Francisco biker gimmick. Is that? It was...
Yeah. He would have like a leather jacket on, and he was a New Yorker. Like they build him from New York City.
Oh, okay. Yep. Oh, so he didn't come from San Francisco billed as until he changed to the flower character.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes sense. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I actually liked him in the tag team with fucking Jesse Ventura. And not that Jesse Ventura was worth a shit in the ring, but, you know, he was a good mouthpiece because Adrian could fucking work, man. That guy could fucking bump his ass off.
Yeah, that was the East-West connection.
Oh, man. Jesse Ventura, man, I'll tell you, that Plato's Retreat shirt, I'm kind of mad that I don't have that in my collection. Because that beaded Plato's Retreat shirt is probably worth, like, couple of $100,000 at this point. Like, I would be totally interested in having that piece of history fucking hanging up in my house, man. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that fucking thing, it's just like Superstar Billy Graham's, like, tie-dye tights. It's like any collector would just fucking love to have those, just to have them. You know?
Absolutely.
I actually want the Thunder Lips robe. That's my thing. I want the Thunder Lips robe because
that was a badass robe.
it's the best fucking introduction to a character in a movie, and it's so perfect for Hogan at that time because it's realistic. Like it's real. It's realistic that he would go out there and have some charity wrestling match against some boxer and start to beat the fuck out of him for real. Like he did it to Richard Belzer. I mean, what the fuck? He wouldn't do it to a boxer?
Choked him out. Oh my god.
It's still one of the funniest clips I've ever seen in my entire life.
When he gets back up, it's like, hey, all right.
No, dude, Mr. T is the one who makes that clip. Don't worry, he's just sleeping.
That was some funny shit.
And then I love the clip of Arsenio Hall. No, man, I did steroids once or twice to heal some injuries, but you know, I don't really do steroids. It's not really not like my thing. Oh, really, Hulk? You just lost 120 pounds, and you come back at WrestleMania fucking 9 at fucking Caesar's Palace, and you look like a fucking string bean version of yourself. It's fucking
really
crazy.
That was a big gaffe, not just admitting it. I mean, that was so stupid.
Well, at that point, you're caught. Like, everyone knows you're doing steroids. Like,
it's pretty obvious. You know, yeah. I know you had an injury, but Jesus Christ, you lost a whole person.
But see, and that's why, like, you know, I was never really, like, a huge Bret Hart guy because I thought that he did bad for business. You know what I mean? I didn't think that he did the right thing by business, but you got to give it up to a guy like that because it really didn't appear that he was using steroids. Like, you know, he had a consistent body throughout his career.
That looks like he worked for it. You know?
No, he definitely worked for it, bro. Like,
but I'm saying it's like you get these massive guys in there that, you know, clearly you've had some help. You know?
Well, I watch a lot of old shit, and you know, obviously, fucking the Buck watches a ton of old shit too. So, I mean, he can probably attest to this. I watch old Stampede wrestling. Bret Hart is the same size.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
And then you look at Dynamite Kid, who was 155 pounds soaking wet, and then you see him as a British Bulldog in WWE, he's 225 pounds, and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. That guy, what is he doing? And then you find out he was doing fucking horse steroids, and fucking, he's a fucking crazy motherfucker. Crazy.
I think Brett in his book, you know, he said, you know, he definitely did some cycles before he went into the WWF to get a little bit bigger and stronger, but you know, I think once he reached the spot that he wanted his body to be, I think he just kind of was able to maintain it without doing it right, you know.
Yeah, more of a maintenance thing for sure. Mm-hmm. But what do you think about today's guys? I mean, do you think that most of the guys are on the gas, or do you think
I think some of them should be on the gas. because they're too small and they look like, if I clothesline one of them in the head, I could knock their head off.
Well, Adam Cole.
A few of these guys. Yeah, Adam Cole is a prime candidate, man. I mean, the Young Bucks. I mean, man, I don't know. I mean, okay, yeah, they're good workers, they're good technical workers and all that stuff, but man, I don't know. When I look at those guys, I just say, I wish they were a little bigger, honestly.
Well, especially with the style that they wrestle. If you're going to be kicking out of 15 finishers in a match, you better look like a world beater.
That's it. I have a big problem with that. I really do. That's why I'm not a big fan of them. Just because they kick out of everything, and come on, there's no way, man.
I mean, like you said, you look like you just got out of high school or something,
and you're beating up Wardlow.
What
the fuck is happening?
Taking 15 different finishers and kicking out every single time. Like you look like you should be dead after one finisher.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. That's why I don't know. I have a problem with that product mainly because of those guys. Some of the smaller guys that kick out of everything. I mean, sometimes less is more. You know what I mean? It's like you don't need to give the guy 15 finishes. You know what I mean? You can just cool it down a little bit, man. Take it slow. I mean, you don't have to go crazy with finisher after finisher and kicking out of everything. It's like, I don't know. I wish they would change their style a little bit for me.
Yeah,
but again, I'm old school, so maybe I don't fit into the newer era of wrestling so much because of that. But
I mean, to me, it's okay when it's sprinkled in there. But I mean, when you have it match after match after match, it gets boring real quick.
It does. It gets boring. It really does.
Well, what pisses me off is, nothing's protected anymore, and we talked about this knowledge last week, where there's no moves that are really protected anymore. It's like not like a thing. So
and that's another problem I have too, man. The finishes should be protected, and you shouldn't need to give 5 finishes to a guy to beat him.
I mean, if it's WrestleMania,
no problem. I got no problem.
Yeah.
I got no problem when it's WrestleMania, but when the guy has hit you with 7 finishes and then beat you with a schoolboy,
and it's just a Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, what the fuck are we doing? Like, this is just it's like a house show match. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You're like giving away all your best shit. Like, don't give it to me, man. Don't give it to me.
Sometimes when it comes to that shit.
I mean, listen, I'm all about like old school. Take your time, man. Tell me the story. And these guys just move too fast. Like, I can't. There's no storytelling. Like, it's really hard for me to get invested in a story when they're not telling me a story. They're just get my shit in. Hurry.
It's why Jim Cornette shits all over AEW most of the time, is because he's old school and he hates seeing it, And I can't blame him most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely it lessens the value of the business because how believable is it? Like, how believable is it that the Young Bucks can legitimately fight a guy like Wardlow or a guy like Big Bill Morrissey? Like, that Big Bill Morrissey would kick all those. He would step on them, like legitimately step on them, and that would be the.
Dude, man.
He's a fucking giant human being, and you know what? I'm so happy for him that he figured his life out and, got off the sauce or whatever he was doing, his problems that he was having. He's in tremendous shape. He fucking looks great, and he can work his ass off. I don't like him bumping around for Hook, but that's just me. I mean,
yeah.
Listen, Hook is not Taz.
No.
I'd like to see a program with him and Wardlow, man. I think that would draw some business, I think.
They're both so athletic, too, that, they would do some crazy shit with each other.
Wardlow's ability to run up the ropes and do that fucking spaceman fucking Jeff Hardy style whisper in the wind while running up the ropes, dude, for a guy that big, it's fucking crazy to think about.
Can I just say, too, that when he's...
It's pretty impressive, but I definitely think he should save those spots for the big time matches.
100%.
Not just bring them out all the time.
Absolutely, and honestly, I feel like that whisper in the wind thing should be like an alternative finisher for him. Because if you get hit with that shit, like when he lands on you with that shit, he is landing full impact on you, and that man should be killing you.
Yeah, and that's not a small dude. I mean, that dude's like a solid 240 pounds. Like he's a and for everyone on that roster, he's a fucking giant. Like,
meanwhile, a coffin drop is putting down for the 3.
I don't understand that, dude. I just don't. I don't get that. Listen, and I like small guy wrestlers. to a certain extent, but when they're wrestling big giant dudes, like, okay, I can make a case for Rey Mysterio because Rey Mysterio is so innovative that his shit doesn't matter how big you are. He can do it to everybody.
Well, the other thing is too, Rey Mysterio, when he was in a match, everybody was bigger than him. He was always fighting from behind.
Yeah, always from underneath. He was the underdog
But
all the
these
time.
small guys,
Yeah, he's the ultimate underdog all the
Right.
time. Yeah.
these small guys today are like taking advantage of these bigger guys, and that just doesn't make sense. A big guy should not be bumping around for a little guy.
I don't understand how people are just gonna like exchange chops with these giant human beings, and they're just gonna stand in the middle of the ring. Dude, let me explain something to you. You're 5'9", 180 pounds. This guy is 225 and solid muscle, and he is blasting you, and you're going chop for chop with him? Hey, buddy,
Yeah,
why don't
I
you...
hate those spots.
Why
I hate
don't,
those spots.
why don't you just sell one of them?
Yeah.
How about that? Just sell one to the chest. That's all I want you to do.
Yep.
And then you got Chris Jericho, who's the fucking man, who's blading on chops. I fucking love it because he's a fucking 50-something years old out there with a finger blade just fucking cutting his chest up off of chops. It's great. It is excellent because it brings realism. It brings a visual to it that you're not going to get.
He's so good. I
hate saying how good Jericho is because it's like, I feel like such a mark saying how good he is.
The reason why I say that, though, is because I was so very against Jericho as the first undisputed champion and all that. I hated it. I hated the whole thing. I hated him pretty much his entire first WWE run. And I mean, he's like the only thing that I care about, and one of the only things I care about in AEW.
Dude, the man tapped out to an airplane spin, to a giant swing.
Yeah.
He tapped out to a giant swing, dude, to lose a championship.
Yeah.
That is fucking next level genius right there. Who else would do something like that?
I gotta admit, I enjoyed that spot. For sure.
And people were like, I can't believe that he tapped out. I'm like, that is the best fucking thing that could have happened. It's genius.
It's not even
that
a
was cool.
submission. You don't have to tap out to a submission.
And then he puts over Action Andretti, who, you know, I'm going to go out there and beat up this jobber, and then loses to the guy. And he said it 3 weeks before. He said, I saw him wrestle, and he said, I'm going to make that kid's career.
Well,
And he
He's
did.
He's done some good stuff lately. I gotta give him credit for sure.
I'm going to be really happy when they break up this Jericho Appreciation Society thing because it's getting a little bit long in the tooth at this point.
it's run its course.
You know?
Yeah, I agree.
And I
Jericho doesn't need a stable.
I wouldn't normally agree with that because I think that the factions are one of the things that's going that AEW needs to lean into. You know?
Well, yeah, now that they have the 6-man titles, they gotta fucking have a bunch of factions.
But that's like...
And FTR is gone, essentially. I don't think they're coming back.
I agree with you, but I don't think they should have the 6-man titles.
Wait, when are
trios
FTR's contracts up? Are they up already?
I have no idea.
Because
that would be interesting to know that.
that would be something for the Rumble, dude, if they fucking just come in during the Rumble. And remember, who did that one year at WrestleMania? The Hardys. Remember when the Hardys came back at WrestleMania and the fucking as in a surprise match and the fucking pop was out of control?
And they won the championships that night too.
Did they really?
Yep, they came back. It was a 6
against FTR, right?
It was a 6-team ladder match for
Was
the tag team
FTR in that
champions.
match?
FTR was the champions were the New Day.
New Day are still champions, bro.
But there were 6 teams there, and the Hardys won the championship.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, actually, New Day's NXT champs now, right?
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
That's cool. I'm glad they went down there to win the belts. That's cool.
Let them work with the young guys. You know what I mean? They're not really doing anything on the main roster. Let them go down, work with the young guys, put some people over, and fucking make people look like stars.
And they're not the same since Big E hasn't been around. So
No, what's his status? Is he coming back? Does anyone know?
I don't think he even knows. I mean, they're still like he's getting scans of his neck like all the time. Like he's out of the brace now, but like he He has like limited mobility, so like who knows, man? I mean, you know how it is. Like Edge had that neck fusion surgery, and they were like, this guy's never gonna wrestle again.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he comes back and he's doing concerto spots and shit.
No,
like so. I mean,
7 years later.
No, speaking of Edge, he'll probably be back for the Rumble as
That's
well, right?
yeah,
that's
him and Beth Phoenix are pretty much all but confirmed that they're both going to be back for their respective Rumbles.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is cool.
Yep.
I'm kind of upset that that I'm not going to get a Santino Marella return at the Rumble because he debuted for Impact.
Yeah.
I saw that on the internet today, yeah.
Yeah, as the Director of Authority, which is hysterical. I like how they just respelled Marella, so that way they can still use Santino Marella just with
I was wondering if they were using that name. So
they're using Santino Marella, but instead of Marella, they're spelling it MOR.
Morella.
Morella.
Wow, that's great. That's great.
So it's cool. He came out and like did his little fucking thing, and like they got like a cheap pop, but I mean they had like fucking. It's a big pay-per-view. They had like 2,500 people there. It's a fucking glorified indie show, and like
the guy's a pretty funny bastard. I gotta say that.
Listen, man, the John Cena thing still makes me pop to this day.
Hilarious.
And it makes Cena pop. The promo where he did that the first time and Cena breaks, it always makes me laugh. I cannot fucking stop laughing when I see it. And you can't help but laugh at the guy because it's so stupid.
The Santina Marella stuff?
Oh, the Santina Marella stuff was fucking great, man. And then he started playing the fucking trombone on the way to the ring and fucking had me pissing my pants. And then came up with another funny gimmick. Let's break out the fucking snake.
Yeah.
And, and he's putting people away in the Royal Rumble, hitting them with the snake.
When the Great Khali charmed the snake.
Oh my god, fucking hysterical shit, dude. You cannot fucking beat that with a fucking stick. You cannot beat it with a stick.
Now what about John Cena? Is he gonna be in WrestleMania?
Yeah, they're saying that he's gonna work with Austin Theory.
Oh, okay. Is he gonna put some spray on that bald spot he's cracking now, or what?
Yeah, I think he probably should just shave his head, or
Then the Rock comparisons continue.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Fuck. I mean, listen, man. John Cena, whoever he works, and I didn't realize this at the time because I watched SmackDown kind of like not on mute, but like not with the volume like turned way up, and I didn't realize it until after John Cena's match the other day, but. If you go back and you watch his 30 seconds of action that he had, he was yelling spots to the wrestlers in the ring. Wait! Tag me now! Screaming at the guys.
He's the king of the loud spots, that's for sure.
Dude, I love that shit. It makes me so happy when people do that because, like smart fans. Like,
he doesn't give a flying fuck.
No, dude. Why would you? He got a fucking raucous ovation when he came out on SmackDown. Why would you care? He's fucking John Cena. He's like he's a giant star at this point. I mean, he's not Rock level. Let's fucking face facts. But, I mean, I'm excited to see if The Rock's going to come back on fucking Monday.
Yep.
I mean, they said the whole Samoan bloodline is going to be in attendance. So
that's very interesting.
To pay homage to the tribal chief. So I wonder if The Rock has a pre-tape or fucking something.
I mean that's got to be
he's
where
going to be involved somehow.
That's got to be where the WrestleMania match starts, right? That's got to be like Rock's introduction.
If that's truly happening, then I would think so. Yes.
I mean, imagine if The Rock declares for the Rumble.
That would be amazing.
I feel like.
I mean, what a surprise it would be though if they saved that for the pop.
I feel like that is just.
It's asking too much.
Yeah, it's just.
I'm reaching. It's a pipe dream.
It's telegraphing it too much. I think that The Rock is not gonna win the Rumble. I think somebody else is gonna win the Rumble, and I think Roman.
Cody.
I think Roman's gonna be wrestling 2 matches at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I mean, if it was me, I wouldn't have Cody win the Rumble because I think that you need the slow burn to Roman. But that's just me personally. I mean, I know that a lot of people are going to disagree. They want Cody to have the title immediately, but it's just fucking, you don't need to have him have the belt immediately. Have him do something else.
Speaking of WrestleMania, have you guys seen the sales of they said that the gate is already over $18 million.
Well, yeah, I mean, because everyone's, Logan Paul, I mean, you got everyone's fucking going to be there.
Well, Logan Paul will probably be in the Rumble.
No, he's
I
not.
hope so.
No.
If his he had a bad injury, right?
Yeah, he tore everything. His whole knee, MCL, PCL,
I forgot about that,
ACL.
Yeah, so I don't know if he'll be back in time for that. He's exciting. I've enjoyed watching him out there.
He's the best non-wrestler to come in and wrestle.
I think so.
I mean,
the one person I want to see in the men's Rumble is Rhea Ripley.
Oh, I would like that.
That would be
I'd like that.
I think she has earned a spot there.
Dude, she's so hot, but she's so tall. Like, I would hate to try to climb that tree, bro. Like, it's just...
You're not going to climb that tree. That tree's going to...
No, yeah, she's going to... that tree's going to implant itself. Yeah, exactly right. So, I asked you guys a question leading up to this podcast, and I want your answers now that we have 10 minutes left. I asked you what would be one thing that you would do to AEW and WWE to improve business right now. I'll start with you, Knowledge. Go ahead.
AEW needs long-term booking.
Okay.
That's the one thing they could do to improve their business.
Agreed.
Stop these short-term
absolutely
quick
agree.
hits. And for the WWE, I think you need to split your titles again. You need separate champions for the tag team championships. You need separate champions for the main championships.
I think that's the way they probably are headed. I think that makes sense. But, I'm not sure, based on some of these numbers I'm seeing lately, even for the Rumble League, they've already got over a $5 million gate.
Holy
into the
shit.
Rumble with 39,000 tickets sold at the Alamo Dome.
Wow.
And an $18 million gate for WrestleMania already. So,
Oh.
I mean, I'm not sure how much they can improve business. And being saying that already, I mean, 2022 for them, they set record numbers in sales, ticket sales too, and gates. So
I'm looking at more of ratings-wise.
yeah, ratings-wise, I mean, I think they can only get so high. I mean, but they could definitely improve their ratings with some better long-term story, booking themselves as well,
Yeah.
and really trying to, not change direction so much. I think they need to stick to the plan. A lot of times I think they change direction out of nowhere sometimes, and it doesn't all add up at times, and I think people get frustrated with that.
Oh, it's a frustrating fucking process, man. Fucking Jesus Christ. It's so frustrating as a fan to fucking sit there and go, this makes zero sense.
And you feel like you can't buy in.
Yeah, no, and that's the problem is buying in.
Yeah, and people need to buy in. I mean, that's what keeps the motor running, man. That's what keeps people coming back every week.
Yeah. What would you change there, buddy?
I think just what he said, really. I mean, some better long-term storytelling on AEW's part. I think. Obviously, if they could bring Punk back to do business with those guys and have him go against Omega and the Bucks, and if they could do that, I think they'd do huge business. I don't see that happening, but if they could do what's best for business, I think that would certainly help them out.
I mean,
but if not, maybe just try to run with MGF and see what he's got. Try to have him be like a Ric Flair type bad guy champion and run through people. I think that would be cheat his balls off and keep the belt. I think that would keep people coming back for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of the Punk angle. That you could play that in so many different ways.
Yeah. I mean, that would be great.
Immediately.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, I would love to see Punk do business with them again, only because I would like to see what they would do via matches. If Punk would, try to cash a receipt in the ring, that's interesting to me.
I think that would draw Matt viewers. I mean, just to see what would happen between them would draw mad business, I think.
Well, I mean, just think about Edge Matt Hardy. Yeah. Like, look how much business that drew.
Nothing brings in more business than real shit.
Yeah, that's it. The real angle, man.
And I like how the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega have been poking fun at all the spots that CM Punk fucked up and, like, you know, the biting of the arm and, like, the whole deal, dude. Like, I think it's genius on their part because, you know, Punk, I'm sure, thinks that is in poor taste, but you know what? Bret Hart thought it was in poor taste when Shawn Michaels brought out a midget Bret Hart on the fucking on the next night after fucking Survivor Series. So I mean, whatever.
Money talks, man. And Punk loves money, and if they could work the work shoot angle with those guys, I mean, that would do excellent business for them next coming year for sure.
Yeah.
How about for WWE, Buck? What do you got?
I mean, I think sticking to the storylines, not changing direction so much, I think would certainly help them. I think maybe switching up the titles, or at least splitting them up, I think could help for sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, other than that, I like the direction they're going. I like the way Triple H has been, you know, bringing them so far. So hopefully they don't change that. I mean, if Vinnie Mac comes back and gets his greasy hands in the pie again, that's gonna kill things, I think. So.
Definitely keep Vince far away from creative.
Fucking great, amen. I mean, I think one of the big things that I would change about AEW is I would probably I know that there's a glutton of titles, but I would really make a very hard stance on a light heavyweight title because that's going to fill up a majority of the roster.
I'd go for that. I think, you know, I think there are too many titles, but I think a light heavyweight title would work well with their cast of characters.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking like under 220, that's 98% of their roster. So, I mean, and you know, you can even go big time with it. I mean, Danielson falls into that category. You know, Wheeler Yuta, MJF, like they all kind of fall into that category. You know, Darby Allin, like, you know, I would really like to see something like that from AEW. And the reason why is because they'd be able to feature and showcase more talent that way. Yeah. I don't, listen, I love a guy like Tony Nese. That guy is fucking excellent. He knows how to work. He can tell a story. He's got a great body, good look. But put him in the ring against a guy even Jon Moxley size, and he looks like a midget. Yeah, it doesn't matter how good you can wrestle technically at that point. Listen, I love Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak is not going to fucking out-wrestle Brock Lesnar. I don't care how good of a wrestler Drew Gulak is. I don't care what fucking holds he knows. Brock Lesnar will grab him and put his fucking leg in his asshole in about a fucking half-second time. And there's nothing that fucking Drew Gulak is going to be able to do about that. I mean, honestly, I don't think that there's too many people in the world that Brock Lesnar couldn't do that to within a 10-second time frame. Like, he would just grab you and fucking stick your leg directly in your asshole. And there's zero chance that you would have to help yourself.
True enough. I'm definitely interested to see where he goes next.
Yeah, no, for sure. The only thing that I would change about AEW, about WWE right now, and I would really, and I know this is going to sound terrible, but I would limit the roster.
Wow, cut it back.
The roster's too big.
It is too big. I mean, even AEW's roster's too big, too.
Too big. Way too big.
They're both bloated rosters.
There's a lot of fat to trim.
WWE has so many people that are so underutilized. I would go back to one champion, 2 shows. That's how it should be. It's a wrestling business. You travel, you work both shows. Champions definitely work both shows. And you have these titles, and they're special, and you defend them. The secondary titles should be on both shows, Raw and SmackDown, but the main titles, tag team, world title, should be defended on both shows simultaneously. You're either a fighting champion or you're not.
Yeah, that's another thing I would like to see WWE do to improve a little bit is defend the World Heavyweight title a little bit more on TV. I mean, it's hardly ever defended on TV.
It's not defended on TV. Ever. It's always... And I mean, listen, Roman's the best thing smoking, dude. There's no doubt about it. That guy is the fucking man.
Well, I mean, what did he have? 2 matches on SmackDown all year last year?
Yeah, dude. And they weren't title matches. Right. They were like 8-man tags and shit.
Yeah, one of them wasn't even a singles match. It was
the tag match.
Right. So...
Yeah,
And
I'd love to see him build up some good, solid championship matches on TV. I think that would certainly improve ratings.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it would do great numbers, and honestly, with a limited roster, you would get more invested in the guys that you have time to be able to watch, and the TV time would go to the people who deserve it. I mean, listen, dude, I don't want to see fucking Top Dollar botching fucking top rope fucking planches. The guy's fucking 6'8" and fucking almost 400 pounds, motherfucker. You're not one of the headhunters in Japan, motherfucker. You're not doing moonsaults and shit off of the fucking top rope. You almost impale yourself, and then all of a sudden you come out the next week pissed off and you're a world beater. You're hurting everybody. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Michael Cole just made fun of you on commentary.
He's a clumsy bastard, that's for sure.
And then he goes online, fuck all you people, I don't need wrestling, I was a pro football player and a real rapper before I got into this. Well, you should still be doing that shit then. What the fuck are you doing wrestling? Fucking
you should
idiot.
go back on tour looking for the Iron Sheik's curly boots or whatever the hell he was doing there on the Treasure Hunter fucking show.
Totally fucking stupid, dude. The whole fucking thing is stupid. Let's give this guy a contract. Oh, let's bring these guys back. It doesn't work without Swerve. Swerve is the fucking straw that stirs the drink.
He's the glue.
Yeah.
And now he's in he's in AEW with two fucking weirdo white dudes, and he's fucking with Sean Puffy Combs' son, and he's like in this fucking like rap group / thug type thing with these two weirdos, and I'm like, dude,
with this / TK didn't know what to do with you, and so you got lumped into this group.
Yeah, and it's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
It's dumb, and that guy's stupid talented.
Yeah,
stupid talented.
Speaking of that too, I think TK, man, he needs to put a little bit more thought into these guys' characters and stories before debuting them. You know, he's had too much of a track record over the last couple of years of bringing people in and not knowing what the fuck to do with them. You know.
Oh, I mean, he gets the initial pop, and then that's it. It's dead after that.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Soraya, what's she doing?
He needs to put more thought into the long-term aspects of where that character is and where they're going and who they're going to face and all that shit before he debuts them. You know?
I mean, dude, he debuts Soraya. She wrestles one match, turns heel. Mm-hmm. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it makes no sense. I mean, look how they botched Adam Cole, like when they brought him in. I mean, that could have been a huge thing when they actually brought him in, but it just kind of fizzled out because they didn't know what to do with him.
And I mean, that's the thing. Like, he you know... God, Tony Khan has his favorites, and the problem is that you make professional wrestlers executive vice presidents, and while they're actively competing, you can't do that, dude. It's a death knell for your business because they are gonna book their friends, and they're gonna make sure that their friends are on top, and the people who they can do business with are the ones who they do business with.
It reminded me of Bischoff bringing in Bret Hart.
Exactly right. You know? I had zero idea what to do with the guy.
That's how you get out of the blue a trios tag team, two trios tag teams wrestling a best of 7 series.
Yeah, like what the fuck, dude? Like
out of nowhere, just out of the blue.
And I mean, the matches were not that great
because there's no other trios that could wrestle for those titles.
Yeah, no, they don't have 96 other factions that they have. I mean, what the fuck, dude? It's so crazy.
I had like little to no interest in that whole series. I gotta be honest with you.
At all.
I mean,
didn't even pay attention to
the only interest that I had is when they started incorporating the ring bell hammer. Because they were doing some cool shit with the ring bell hammer where they were smashing it on fucking...
I did see some of that.
Like they smashed it on Nick Jackson's ankle the first week and I was like, oh my god, that's fucking awesome. What a fucking great visual. And he sold it like $1 million. But the problem is the next week he comes out and he's fucking doing 450s and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, then you have that best of 7 series that goes 7 full matches and...
Everyone knows it's going 7 matches.
And at the end of it, you know House of Black is just going to start coming in running roughshod. So,
yep.
Well, I like House of Black. I mean, I like all 3 of those guys. They can all fucking really work. I hate Julia Hart. That's a complete waste.
Yeah.
I don't understand what she's doing there. It makes no sense. It should be just the 3 of them dudes being mean, demonic, fucking, just doing weird shit, spitting the mist at people, and like... now that Mood is gone, you can really do that shit in, full capacity. Tajiri's not really wrestling. So, the Mist is, an open market as far as I'm concerned. And I'm glad that somebody's doing it because it's a cool spot.
Yep.
It's a great visual.
Again, that team, lack of direction has hurt that team.
Oh, my God. I would have made them tag team champions.
That's been Tony Khan's like worst thing, really, that he's done is just a complete lack of direction and lack of vision for where these guys are going to be, what they're going to be doing in the company.
How the fuck do you not use Miro?
Yeah, right. He's another one. Perfect example. Coming out in a pink T-shirt with Mickey Mouse on it, and it's just ridiculous.
And that guy's fucking incredible.
They really could have used him in a completely different way that would have put him over big time, but they blew it.
I'm the Redeemer. No, what? What the fuck are we?
Yeah,
what are we? You're a Jesus freak now? What the fuck is happening, bro?
Yeah, he switched gimmicks 3 times, like in a matter of months. It was just ridiculous.
Bro, he could have just replicated the Rusev thing that he did in WWE, except using Miro instead of Rusev. It's Miro Day. Like, what the fuck? How difficult is that?
Yeah.
I could have done it for the guy.
Yep.
Fuck that other dude, the fucking idiot. He's an announcer now. Matt Reinbold or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, he had a better name.
Yeah, Aiden
something.
Aiden English.
Aiden English.
Aiden
Great
English.
Name. Great name.
Yeah, it's actually a really good name, Aiden English. That's actually not a fucking terrible name. But he was terrible. He was the shits. Yeah. And like
wasn't he in WWE, Aiden English?
Yeah. He was in that Vaudevillains fucking tag team with that
Right.
idiot who hates fucking Enzo, Simon Gotch.
That's it, Simon Gotch.
I love Simon Gotch. Enzo is an abortion to the wrestling business. Bro, you're so salty. And he's like, I don't understand why companies won't book me. Well, I fucking do, buddy. You're a fucking idiot. You're just a total stooge.
Just stop talking like that.
Yeah, just stop being an idiot. But speaking of that, man, I mean, I have big fucking hopes for this week's upcoming Raw. I think Raw 30 is going to be a fucking banger go-home show leading into the Royal Rumble, and I think we're going to get some clear assurances on what we're going to be seeing moving into WrestleMania season. So, I mean, this is my favorite time of the year. I mean, the Rumble's my favorite pay-per-view. It used to be fucking Survivor Series when it was the real Survivor Series with the old school teams. But the Rumble has far surpassed and taken over as my favorite because you see people that sometimes you normally wouldn't see, and it's always a nice surprise to see random people. I hope they let Jamie Noble in the Rumble this year. Like, I mean, he wrestled a match recently. Yep. I mean,
did he really? Oh.
Yeah,
he wrestled on a live show, his final match.
Yeah, he wrestled.
No kidding. Wow, that's cool.
He wrestled with Kevin Owens. He wrestled in an 8-man tag against the Bloodline.
I used to love his character, the trailer trash character he had with the girl that he used to.
Oh, Nadia.
Yeah, it was good shit.
Are you looking at my sister?
That's good shit, man.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you what, man. The Daisy Duke shorts and shit. Like he would come out.
Yeah, he looked pretty good in those Daisy Duke shirts.
Listen, man, the thing is that dude technically is one of the best wrestlers that you'll ever see.
Oh, yeah.
He's fucking incredible in the ring. But that's another guy who was small, never got his due. And it reminds me of a fucking great tag team that nobody talks about, who I love, Deuce and Domino. I fucking love Deuce and Domino.
Yeah, they were good too.
That kick that they did, the fucking seated kick where Cliff Compton's holding the dude's head and Snooker's son comes running off the rope with that Yakuza kick and blasts him in the face, and they go, oh, right afterwards, like Andrew Dice Clay. I fucking love that shit. I got such a wrestling chubby seeing those guys work. And they worked some great matches against fucking Brian Kendrick and Paul London back in the day.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Talk about a team who was small, who had a giant run with the tag team titles, dude. They were like 400-something days as tag team champions.
Yeah, they held on to it for a while.
Fucking ridiculous,
the
dude.
character work was so good,
Yeah.
Yeah, for the WWE, that was an amazing run for having those small guys have the belts that long. That was cool.
I mean, like Roman having the belt for this long, I understand.
And they've been building him for that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's very impressive how they're allowing guys to hold on to the titles for such a long time now. I mean, not just the world title, but think about the Intercontinental title. Like Gunther has had that fucking joint for a hot minute now. Like,
Well, he's making a difference with the belt. He's making it mean something. It's great.
Before Mandy Rose was spreading on camera, I mean, she held the NXT Women's
hey,
Championship.
don't you talk about Mandy Rose like that.
For over a year, right?
Yeah.
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 I mean,
that's pretty cool. I like that, man. I hate when they switch titles too quickly, man.
it sucks. It sucks because they lose faith. They lose faith in somebody, but I think that was more the Vince thing, you know? This isn't working 6 weeks in. I'm fucking pulling the strap off you.
It would be fine. It'd be fine if you're hot shotting it back and forth between the same couple guys who are in a feud. When you're bouncing it to somebody, then somebody else, and
they all have nothing to do with each other.
Right. In a few months, then it's just like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah,
well,
Vince changes his mind, all the time. So yeah,
he's a fucking. Yeah, I'm gonna be so glad when he's finally done.
Stay away from creative, Vince.
Vince, stay away. Stay away.
Hey, so we should hook this trio back up again after the Rumble and discuss the happenings and what went down.
Let's do it, man.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Well, for myself, Tatum, Knowledge, it's been a pleasure.
Peace out, good.
We've had the debut of our newest fucking member of the special guests, the fucking Buck from the Nuck. He's been here. He's came. He saw. He's conquered. He's coming back after the Rumble. It's been a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. Tune in next time for Pro Wrestling Summit, you sons of bitches. Peace the fuck out. Watch wrestling.